Hey, Dadpreneur. Adam Dukes here. Welcome to Dadpreneur episode number 76, the weekend edition. Sunday night here. First time doing a weekend edition. Just had something on my mind, so I wanted to record this before going to bed. What is it? Always be ready to pivot in business. I just I started a Shopify store last week, or I started putting it together, I should say. I haven't like done any advertising or anything. This was an idea I've wanted to do for since last summer. Sports signs, like that you hang on the wall and things like that. They're really unique looking. I had met a company at a trade show twice last year, actually, out here in Vegas, and I spoke with them in July and wanted to sell their signs, talk with them, exchange information, and they don't really, how do I say it? They don't really, their customers that they provide to are brick and mortar companies, like places you go into a store and buy stuff. They kind of like frown on the whole online retail side of things. They do have a couple customers, some big, like people that in millions and millions, billions of dollars. Wayfair is a customer, and then a couple other ones that are very large. Me, little old me, I didn't have much to show them. I didn't have any sales proof for sports. I had another e-commerce store. I tried to use that as proof to get them to approve me for an account. It did not work. So I was pretty bummed out about it. I spent like a month getting them paperwork and trying to prove that I had done really well with the jewelry store, and I'm very good at Facebook advertising, and I wanted to sell signs, and I told him I think I'd do an excellent job with Facebook advertising, with the targeting and all that, and sports being very passionate. So unfortunately, it didn't work out. So I kind of gave up on the idea. And I was pretty bummed out about it. Fast forward to like a month ago, 3 weeks ago, I found another company that is a distributor who actually carries those signs, and I got approved just last week to sell for this distributor, which sells those original signs that I wanted to 6 months ago, which it all worked out. Just really cool how it worked out. Um, so I started putting a store together, started um, reaching out to some of the vendors I use to write an about page, a vendor to upload some of the products in the store, a vendor to come up with a slogan and tagline for I don't do it myself. I'm not good at that stuff. Also, who else? Oh, a logo designer. And I started kind of putting the pieces together and started the store and kind of customizing the store on the back end. And I've been going back and forth with this company that supply this distributor who supplies these sports signs, and it turns out these signs are a pain in the ass to ship. They're very large. They're heavy, not super heavy, but they're kind of heavy, but they're big. So the guy said these are a nightmare to ship. This is what the supplier told me, which that's the last thing I wanted to hear. And so it started making sense that why that company didn't really want me selling them last summer. You know, they prefer the brick and mortar. However, they do have a few online stores or online accounts that they sell to. They're much larger. So it started making sense. I'm still going back and forth with the whole shipping thing. Not sure it's even going to work out. I hope it does. However, the guy, like I said, did say it is a nightmare. However, they have a huge selection. They have like 30,000 products, all in the sports. It's all officially licensed stuff: baseball, football, basketball, hockey, NASCAR. I don't know. Other they have like Jack Daniels and things like that. They actually have some cartoons, Superman and Batman and things like that. So they have a ton of products, all officially licensed stuff. I'm hoping the sign deal works out. The name of the store is around the signs. The logo is a sign. The about page is about signs. I'm hoping it works out. However, I'm not going to hear back from the guy till hopefully tomorrow about this whole shipping thing. It might be, I don't know, it might be 20, 30, $40 to ship one sign, which obviously isn't gonna, that's probably not gonna work out. So, like I said, always be ready to pivot in business. I kind of pivoted a little bit. I wanted to work with this original supplier. It didn't work. I found another supplier who happened, or distributor, whatever I'm going to call it, who happened to carry the signs, these same signs. You know, I kind of lucked out, as well as other signs, not just from the original supplier. They have, I don't know, 3 or 4 different suppliers that they carry these sports signs. You know, they're very unique, and that's why I like them. There's not many online, and maybe there's a reason for that. I'm finding out. I thought it was a truly unique product when I did when I did like the research. Not many places sell it. Amazon doesn't even have it, or it's hit and miss on Amazon. Some people they have some signs, but not many, and maybe I'm finding out why. It's because they're too damn heavy or too damn big to ship. So we'll see how it goes. But again, always be ready to pivot. If the signs don't work out, if I find that out tomorrow or in the next day or two, I'm going to pivot to something else. Like I said, the place carries 30,000 products. I'm going to find something else. So you always have to be ready to pivot. Things change all the time. Sometimes things just don't work out. 6 months ago, this would have been nice to know. If that company could have told me, hey, we don't do this, we don't use online retailers, because the shipping's a mess, or very, very heavy, very large to ship, and maybe I'm wrong. Maybe the shipping's not as bad as I thought. But like I said, this guy told me it's a nightmare. And it would have been nice to know this 6 months ago. But again, I just started this, putting up a Shopify store. It's very, very quick. I think I started last Tuesday or Wednesday, Tuesday, I think. Or, I'm sorry, Wednesday. Wednesday is when I set the domain up. And now it's Sunday. I have 25 products in the store. I could probably start running ads in the next 2 to 3 days if the shipping all works out. So it's not like I have 3 months in and I built out this whole store. So it's not a ton of time wasted. It'd be the last couple days wasted. But again, I'm planning on pivot. I would change the name of the store. I'd still use the same store, change the name of the store, adjust some things, and just pivot to something else sports related. Pick out other products of the 30,000 plus that this distributor carries. So that's kind of the lesson. Kind of went on a little bit. It's just always be ready to pivot. Some things don't work out, so you have to pivot. And same with like advertising. Sometimes maybe you're advertising on Facebook. It's working well. Things change, and you got to pivot to use something else, use another traffic source. So always be ready to pivot in business. I wrote a blog post like a year and a half ago about how pivoting and parenting are very, very similar. And I kind of related the one day Ava threw up all over me, just right here in the living room. And we went and took a bath. It was it was right when I woke up a little while back. And I didn't plan on taking a bath, but I pivoted, so that was my relating it to business and parenting. So that's what it's like in business. You always have to be ready to pivot. Don't throw in the towel. Think kind of outside the box, because one thing doesn't work doesn't mean you got to throw in the towel on this whole idea and go with something completely in a new direction. Again, you can pivot. My sports signs don't work. I can sell something else I can find. I have to change the name, but I can still use the same supplier and things like that. So it's just kind of it's not going a 180. It's just a couple degree turn. So willing to pivot and knowing that you can pivot and not kind of throw in the towel in. Kind of like I did last summer. I kind of threw the towel in on this idea, the sports signs. The supplier turned me down and there wasn't much I could do. So I kind of gave up on the idea, and then I revisited it, this whole sports signs idea, about a month ago, and just happened to find a supplier who carries the signs from the original supplier. So that's it. That's the message tonight. I'm going to bed. Always be willing to pivot. It's not the end of the world. Just a couple degrees this way, a couple degrees that way. Not a complete 180. That's it for now. Thank you.